My family have always lived here. The farm I was born on, New Park Farm, where my father was born, it was his mother and father, which was my grandparents, had New Park built in 1924. When my grandfather got married, there was 2 sons left home on the farm, which was at Willmott Farm, which was a joining farm in relation to the land joins. So he took a little piece of Willmott and bought a little bit of land at the other side, which created New Park. New Park itself was always there, but the original farmhouse was down by the river, which was very impractical to get to, hence the new farmhouse was built by the road. Great-grandfather had the farm then, and it's him that founded the Double Whites. They used to grow daffodils, and she remembers taking them to Plymouth Market. But when they got married in 1953, they didn't actually grow daffodils then because they were more into dairy, and the land was put to dairy. When I was a child growing up, my mum used to do a few anemones to sell, and they used to go to Covent Garden. And I can remember going down across the fields, and we did have just a little bit down one side of the field, which was obviously left from years ago, of what would have been double whites, but reverted to pheasant eyes.
Okay.
So I remember picking some of them. But my memories were going around the hedgerows around the farm and picking little bunches of primroses, laying them in the bottom of the boxes, which would go to Covent Garden. Sometimes there was a few violets, but not so many violets. Growing up as a child, I used to go to my auntie's farm, which was at Lockridge Farm in Birlston, which they used to employ about 30 odd women part-time from the village to come down and pick fruit, flowers, vegetables. All went off to market, either to Covent Garden Market or to Plymouth markets. I also remember when I was a little bit older, I used to go down, and when I was old enough I could be bunching. I used to bunch the daffodils, but you see, you bunch them, I don't actually remember the varieties. Today you have 10 in a bunch, which are just buds, but you do a market bunch is done as 12s, and it's 4 rows of 3.
Okay.
No, I can do a market bunch when the daffodils are open. You can't do them when they're closed. We got the river on 2 sides of us, and we're all but a mile of land. We're an internal island, and I think having the river protecting you on nearly all the way around you, and I think it's the lie of the land. It's an ideal growing area, and there's no industry here, so there's no pollution here. Sometimes you get a frost in Birlston and you won't get one down here, or vice versa. But being beside the river, you're kept that little bit warmer. The seasons have definitely changed, and we've noticed that spring comes earlier and everything comes into spring. I mean, combining used to be a September job. It's done in July now. We never used to combine in July when I was growing up. It was always a September job. I think all the seasons are all 2 months earlier than what they used to be. We don't get the harshness of the winters that we used to. They do grow much earlier down here. I mean, our flower show that we have in March is one of the first spring flower shows around. And everybody says, oh, there'll be no daffodils, because we've had daffodils since Christmas. But I always say the daffodil season is not a month. The daffodil season goes on for about 5 months. The various varieties, because we are the end of March for the show, we then get the doubles, which is the newer varieties, not the older varieties, which makes a more showier show, because of the doubles are much bigger and blousier, and you do get a nice show with them. The flower show has always been a part of my life growing up. When I was young, we were always encouraged as children to enter into the show.